Hey there, VC. Dennis back again. You might notice something a little bit different. Finally got my hair cut. It'd been a long time coming, and decided to just go all out with it. But today, as you can probably see in the title, it's gonna be a mail day episode. Got 4 packages. I need to open. I was gonna do the vinyl tag video for this year. I'm still going to, but I'm just kind of putting it off, trying to finalize some answers. And with this video, I remember what's in most of them, not specifically which packages, but some of the contents are going to go towards kind of a retrospective video on a certain artist that I've been wanting to do since the beginning. So with that, I'm going to open up this first package. All of them I've cut the tape open. I literally just picked them out the porch, just got home. Just kind of cut open the tape. Haven't actually unboxed anything yet. So let's do this one first here. Mostly undone. Alright, okay, this one. To the side. Okay. This guy stuck a thing advertising his Discogs or whatever. So take that out for later. Okay. So first off we have Northwest Passage by Stan Rogers. This is the artist I'm going to do a video on. Basically, Stan Rogers was a Canadian folk artist. Started in the kind of mid 70s, and then he passed away back in 1982. There was a plane fire. He actually made it out of the plane, but smoke inhalation ended up passing away. So Stan Rogers wrote this passage, and they did. I didn't ask him to do this, but shipped the record outside. It looks like it has a nice inner sleeve on it too, but there's a label, and I think most he had his own record label. Again, I'll go into it later on, called Fogarty's Cove, and I think all of the labels are similar to that, just different colors. There's one. Then also in this package, I can't remember if this was the artist or if it was another one. But it was like a volume discount, either that or that was relatively cheap. And then this caught my eye, and I was listening to it either on Spotify or YouTube. But here, I'll show you the cover first. So Abisa Ayaya. Oh, sorry. The band's Obisa, but it's Woyaya. I'll show you the label. It's on Decca. Circa. It doesn't actually have the year on here. Classic Decca label. This is essentially just like a sort of like a funky Afrobeat sort of album. Normally I'm not in, like, I love funk music, don't get me wrong, but I've never dabbled too much in like the Afrobeat sort of sector. But I was listening to it, and I was kind of asking myself, am I actually gonna like listen to this? Is it something I'm gonna return to or anything? And copies of they're cheap enough, they're not too bad. It's a gatefold. And it was interesting enough. I really wanted to not to miss anything. So again, it was pretty dang cheap. So I wasn't gonna say no, especially help justify the shipping off of instead of just one album. Might as well get two. Let me just slip this back in here. Figured since I had the one out, might as well put the record back in instead of forgetting about it later on. Alright, next up, let's see. And so I bought, I think it was from 2 different sellers on Discogs and a couple on eBay. Alrighty. Oh, that's messed up. Well, that's not good. I've never seen anybody do that. So they shipped the folder and then they shipped the record and the sleeve outside of the vinyl or outside of the cover or any other sort of packaging. So this is we're gonna check together how the record looks. But anyways, here is Stan Rogers for the Family. I believe. Okay, this was his second release. It's R002. And I mean, so all of his music's great. This album doesn't necessarily have any of the really catchy hits. If you've actually heard songs that were done by by Stan, like Northwest Passage, Bears Privateers, Blue Nose, anything like that. But it has a classic lineup with Stan Rogers, his brother Garnett, and Jim Morrison, not of the Doors. So take a look real quick here. And so this is on Folk Tradition rather than Fogarty's Cove. I can't remember if maybe it didn't come on Fogarty's Cove or what. But this thing looks, there's a little like scuffy line mark. It might just come off in a wash, but it looks hella clean. So overall, I'm happy with that. I just swear I'm not drunk. Okay. So for the Family, again, I'll go into that a little bit more down the line. Okay, that's weird. Next up, what do we got? The Big Reunion from Jazz Tone. Fletcher Henderson and the All-Stars in Hi-Fi. Under the direction of Rex Stewart. There you go. Or as Tunes from Man came, Pachow. So this, basically it's some of the artists that Fletcher Henderson, who's big, in the roaring 20s and into the 30s, I believe. Some of the artists he worked with and some of the songs that they were known for over the years. So we got on trumpet Rex Stewart, Emmett Berry, looks like just Taj, maybe it's Taj Jordan, and Joe Thomas. On trombones, you got J.C. Higginbottom, Benny Morton and Dickie Wells. Now I'm a sax guy. So saxes, you got Garvin Bushnell and Hilton Jefferson. Altos, you got the all-time great Coleman Hawkins and Ben Weber. Tenor, you got Hayward Henry. It's Garvin Bushnell, Hilton Jefferson, and alto. Coleman Hawkins and Ben Webster on tenor, and Hayward Henry on the Barry sax. And then clarinet, you got Buster Bailey, Red Richards is on piano, Al Casey's on guitar, Bill Pemberton's on bass, and Jimmy Crawford plays the drums. As well as songs like Sugarfoot Stomp, 100 Years from Today, Honeysuckle Rose, Round About Midnight, and Casey Stew on side 1. Wrapping it up, Three Thieves, The Way She Walks, and King Porter Stomp, on side B. And then they swap out artists from here or there. This little story here, some pictures on the back cover. And here's the record, Jazz Tone label. And how's that look? Looks pretty dang good. Good on that side. Good on this side. Just make sure it's the right one. Yep. I mean, it's pretty clean for being an original pressing, original stereo from 58. In my eyes, at least. It doesn't... I don't think... Yeah, it doesn't have the original inner sleeve. It just has the replacement, which is fine. I've been trying to get as much Coleman Hawkins stuff as I can, so that's at a reasonable price at least. The only problem is, like, around here, there's not that many shops. There's not a whole lot of record stores or deals, and jazz isn't super popular here. And this was super cheap. This was one that had a discount. I don't think I need to say much about it. It's kind of infamous, right? But I never actually listened to it, so I brought up Spotify. I had to flip it on, and it's so cheesy I had to have it. And that's Star Wars and Other Galactic Funk by Miko. Or Meko, however you're supposed to pronounce it. Yeah, I don't know, man. Side A, I was listening to, the Princess of Peers and the Cantina Band and all that, and there was no way I wasn't gonna buy it. Of course, on that kind of classic Millennium, I'm sure it's getting whitewashed a hell of a lot. And yeah, there's a lot of little scuffs and scratches all over this thing. I'm sure for what I'm gonna use it for, it's fine. I'm not gonna be super picky with this. It's just a couple of bucks. So that's that for the second package. Next up, I think these next ones just have a single. What the hell? This is the beefiest package I've ever seen. Okay. Yep. Okay. All for one record, guys. Alright, so this one is another Stan Rogers. They had the record on the front, and surprisingly enough, I bought it almost exclusively because of this. There's some other like cheaper versions and stuff, but it still actually has some of the shrink in it. So this is Fogarty's Cove. This was Stan Rogers' first release on the Fogarty Cove label. It's named as such. And I mean, it's a classic album, guys. Of course, that's 45 Years is a great love song. Fogarty's Cove, Bears Privateers, Rock of the Athens Queen. You have Giant in its reprise. Yeah, so this was recorded back in 1976. So this is actually the second release of it. It was originally released on Barn Swallow in 77. But I opted, as much as I can, to try to get everything on Fogarty's Cove that came out on Fogarty's Cove. And again, the same label, how Northwest Passage was blue. This is like, honestly, the color is almost like pea yellow. It's like a mustard yellow, I guess. And I believe that's what completes my original Stan Rogers vinyl collection stuff that was released on record. He had a couple of like posthumous releases that are only available on CD, maybe cassette. I don't know. Come on. I'm not putting you on the ground until I get you in a bag. This is riveting stuff. Um, and I have all that on CD. I actually have the Stan Rogers collection. It has all the studio albums and such, along with the documentary. In a box set that's now like wickedly out of print. I was offered a decent sum for it, but there was no way. And this one, now with the others crossed off, I remember exactly what this one is. And I mean, I'm excited to get the Stan Rogers stuff. Don't get me wrong. But this is so this is also still partially in shrink. Actually, it's completely sealed. I didn't realize it was sealed. I thought it was opened. Okay, so what I was looking for, I believe it was Northwest Passage on eBay. There was a seller. It was it looked like a sort of like an antique or thrift store out in New Hampshire, I believe. That had it. A lot of their stuff was just like $15 straight up for most of their stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, let me see if there's, they're just general description, barely any pictures and stuff. Like, well, let me see what else they have. If something stands out, buy a couple and stuff, so that way, it's kind of worthwhile. And I came across this, right? The Kingdom of Simmets. Looks like Destiny. And here's a picture of the back cover. Try to get as much glare off it as possible. I mean, I could read out the names of these people, but I'm gonna almost guarantee you nobody's heard of this band. The little bit that I was able to find out about them, there's only one track on YouTube. I listened to it. It was weird, and I wanted to buy it. So, it sounds like it was a local, like a psych band out of somewhere in Maryland. I don't think it actually has. Wilmington, Massachusetts. Sorry. Mass, not Maryland. It was recorded at Destiny Recording Studio. It's copyright 1979. And beyond that, there's not much that's really known about it. Thinking that it's just some local band somewhere in Mass. I can't imagine there's a whole lot of copies of this out there. I mean, I'm not going to say desirable in any sort of effect. I mean, this thing's managed to stay sealed for, 79, 80, 90, 09, 40 years now? 41 years? Yeah, I'll probably end up cracking this open. I want to do a little bit more research on it, but I'll probably end up cracking open, giving it a spin as long as it's not terribly warped or there's any surprises inside of here. Because we know that, like, when the shrink's opened, like, it won't as constrict as bad, right? It's a little bit looser. But since it's been sealed for 40 years, if it's been stored in any sort of like heated environment, that shrink's going to continue to shrink. I mean, it feels, like looser. I mean, it's probably been, in Massachusetts and the New England area for 40 years. If it was, recorded in Wilmington and then it ended up somewhere in New Hampshire, not terribly far away, right? And so yeah, I ended up picking this up by itself because I picked up Northwest Passage from a Discog seller, and yeah, like I said, it was odd enough in the fact that it also has, some normal band instruments, like, there's a trombone player, somebody plays the congas, there's a tenor sax player, trumpet, trombone. So, if I do ever get around to listening to this, I'll be sure to do some sort of review on it. Might just roll it up into something else. But But that's it. That's the last package. Um, so I guess later on this week, I'm gonna try recording my vinyl tags, or yeah, my vinyl tag. It's, it's a little bit late, um, but I wanna get that done, get that finalized, and then come up with some sort of script for Stan Rogers. Maybe see if I can't somehow slip in music. Otherwise, we'll just use YouTube links. It's everywhere. So other than that, keep on spinning, keep on rocking. If you've heard of, pretty much anything in this pile or whatever you want to add to the discussion, put down in the comments. I'll be checking them every so often, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.